Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at a problem from the book in section 2.2, number 16. It gives us a point on the unit circle, x, y, and it wants us to find the 6 trigonometric functions. So you can see here, if we draw our unit circle, we have this point P. Notice it's in the second quadrant because it has a negative x and a positive y. Okay, so we just draw any point. It doesn't really matter if it's the scale. We just need to get our orientation. So let's recall that this is our theta here, and opposite theta is our y-coordinate, and then adjacent is the one that's array that's makes up the theta. And then, of course, we have our hypotenuse. And also remember that the hypotenuse in the unit circle is always 1. Okay, so again, this is x comma y, so our x is negative 1/5 and our y is 2 root 6 over 5. So when we draw that, we just kind of label that in. And then we need to solve our 6 trigonometric functions. So SOHCAHTOA, all right, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, which the opposite is y over, in this case, the radius is 1, so it's just y. So this is going to be 2 root 6 over 5. Okay. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is just x, so that's going to be negative 1/5. All right. So for tangent, we're going to get opposite over adjacent, which is also sine divided by cosine, and that simplifies to be y over x. So remember when we are dividing fractions, I'll just do this up here. So we have 2 root 6 over 5. Then we change this multiplication and flip our second fraction. The 5 is going to cancel out, so we're just going to get negative 2 root 6. Okay. For cosecant, which is going to be 1 over sine, so again, we're going to flip this fraction. So it's going to be 1 over y. Well, 1 over y means we're now going to flip y, so it's going to be 5 over 2 root 6, but we can't leave the root 6 in the denominator, so we're going to rationalize that by multiplying top and bottom by square root of 6. Okay, so now on the top we're going to have 5 root 6, and in the denominator square root of 6 times square root of 6 is just 6, and 6 times 2 is 12. Okay. For the secant, that's going to be 1 over cosine, which again, we're going to flip our fraction. So instead of being x over 1, it's going to be 1 over x. Well, here, it's just negative 1/5, so that's just going to become negative 5. All right, cotangent, which is 1 over tangent. So that's going to flip, so it becomes now, instead of opposite over adjacent, it's going to be adjacent over opposite, or x over y is what it simplifies to. So if I have first term, negative 1/5. And then when I do division of a fraction, I'll change the multiplication and I'll flip the second one. So this is going to become 5 over 2 root 6. Okay, you'll notice our 5s will cancel out. But we do have this radical in the denominator again, so we'll have to multiply top and bottom by square root of 6. Okay, so now on top we'll have negative root 6, and in the denominator 6 times 6, or square root of 6 times square root of 6 is just 6, and 6 times 2 is 12. So you can see you end up with negative square root of 6 over 12. So this is how you do problem 16. You have a similar homework problem. Hope that helps.